Welcome to the Succeed with Software podcast, brought to you by SuiteDash. Today's episode is from one of the bi-weekly Q&A webinars. To participate live, just follow the link in the description to sign up and submit your questions. Be sure that you're subscribed on YouTube and following us on all social media to get the latest videos and updates about new and existing features. Alright, so let's get started. Hello and welcome everyone. This is Mike. I am the founder and CEO of SuiteDash. Hope you all are doing well. Thanks for joining us. Alright, let's start off by getting everyone to jump into the chat and let me know that you can hear me. Let me know where you're joining us from. I believe I have that enabled for everyone. Let's see who will be first. I see a decent crowd. We're just starting these webinars back up. Hi, Chris from Michigan. Is this Chris, the support tickets fan? Chris? And does it know? Okay. Sorry, I took a chance there. And there's no shame in being Chris, the support tickets fan. It's just funny because I recognize Chris from the community. Hi, Leif. How you doing? Good to see you. I know we haven't talked in quite a while. WK, Samantha from Virginia. You're not far from me. Andrea from Texas. Very hot there, from what I understand. And Mount Shasta, California. Cool. Very cool. Okay. So we're just starting these webinars back up after several months of inactivity, which gave us time to focus on other things and really be proactive in a few other areas. But by popular demand, they are back and I am here. So I will do my best to be available and stay on the schedule of Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday at 1 p.m. EST. Thursday at 11 a.m. EST. So that should cover. That'll help Leif, right, Leif? You won't have to stay up too late. So I'm glad to see you here on this time on Thursday. Okay, everyone can see my screen. Let's go ahead and get started. What I'd like to do is eventually we'll open the floor to questions. Oh, good. Good to hear that. But what I want to do is start off with. Should I start off with a summary of SuiteDash? I don't think that might take us half the session, but let me start off with our recently released Fresh on Live, because I think it's not a bad idea for us to just go over these verbally as well as written, which you see in the Sweet Treats email, but just to describe and answer quick questions about how they come to you and what they mean. First, if you haven't started a SuiteDash free trial, we'd encourage you to do that. You can do that from right here. It's free. There's no risk, no credit card. 14 days extended upon request. If you're just getting started, the help documentation is here. Our newest experiment, Kevin AI, powered by ChatGPT and artificial intelligence, is here. Warning, Kevin's still learning. Kevin's trying. He's doing his best. He's just a dog, so give him a break. But we are seeing some progress in the training, and as we continue to refine the training, I've seen some pretty impressive answers given by this. So, we're learning along the way as well on how to refine the documentation, which Kevin is trained on. So this is an exciting new field. Of course, everyone's excited about AI. And this is just one way that we're starting to integrate this into SuiteDash. The newest resource for you is now SuiteDash Academy. If you go here and you are not logged in to your SuiteDash account, you will see that it's going to tell you, hey, you're not logged in. But all you have to do is go into your account, whether it's a free trial, it doesn't matter. You'll click here in your profile image for the flyout, and you'll click Academy. Now, you will not have some of these links, specifically support tickets and create support ticket. This is a test account. These things are real, but they're not ready for you just yet. Very soon. Hang in there. But what you'll see is this academy, and then you'll have access to these courses. And specifically, this one is the most applicable if you are new to SuiteDash. This is built on our own LMS, so we're eating our own cooking here. We're training you inside a SuiteDash account. This is just a SuiteDash account that's, obviously a little bit coded a little differently than yours as far as the access, but the LMS itself is completely 100% exactly what you have access to if you have a Pinnacle account. And you'll just work your way through these lessons, and they are in order. They're intended to onboard you in a logical fashion. So we're excited about this. We're happy to hear some feedback on your journey through this and how it works. There are still some places where we need to fill in some information gaps, some videos. That's always going to be expected with something as big as SuiteDash. Videos will become outdated relatively quickly at the speed we move, and good quality, high production value videos are not easy to make. So having perfect videos, perfectly updated for every part of the 15 plus toolkits that we have is probably not realistic, but we'll do our best. And the best way to supplement that is probably these webinars and live support sessions if you have access to those. Okay, so real quickly, let's go through the latest. This is the SuiteDash community, another place you can go. And I'm going to just click here on the Fresh on Live that we just released. The community is the first place that this information gets posted, typically on a Friday, sometimes a Saturday, every 2, 3, 4 weeks, something like that, when we're able to collect enough release items and features that make sense to combine into what we call a Fresh on Live. Okay. So let's just go through these one-on-one. I will do my best to not read what I've written here, but really describe it in the sense of trying to describe it to you in 1-2 minutes each. The company import. Okay, so the company import will allow you to import companies, not contacts, but actual companies. When you import companies, you can set a primary contact. You can also import custom fields associated with that company, both public and private. Okay, so if you're looking to import what we're now moving towards calling individuals, people that you're working with as an individual, that's not the company import. That's not what you want. What if you're working specifically with companies represented by a primary contact who is, yes, an individual person, but their whole reason for existing in your world is to represent that company. That's the relationship of a company and a primary contact. So you'll be able to import the company, import the primary contact's first name, last name, email address. Now they're associated in that world, and any custom fields that you want to associate with that company. And the CRM is designed for you to work with that company as the actual endpoint. The primary contact can change at any time, both either next week, next year, 10 years from now, without doing any damage. And as you continue to build and work a relationship with that company, and the primary contact changes, they leave, they take off in a school bus and go live on the side of a hill somewhere, as people seem to want to do these days. You can now just continue. It won't break your CRM. It won't break your projects. It won't break anything. You'll just now be communicating with a new person. The relationship between you and that company will stay exactly the same. Okay. So the import helps make that relationship fit into a bulk import style of onboarding new customers, especially if you're coming from a different solution. Okay, the ability to hide the individual profile. So we do make it possible for you to work with a company and with an individual. So the analogy that I've used several times is this. Let's say you are the owner of a business and you own an office building. Okay, so you hire a landscaping company to do the landscaping at your office building, right? You're going to pay them with a company check. They're going to invoice your company. They're not going to invoice you as a person. They're going to invoice your company. You're going to authorize that. You're going to represent your company, and you're going to pay them. But maybe they do such a good job that you say, hey, I would like you to come to my house and do the landscaping of my house now. Now they're working with you as an individual, not through your company. And you're going to pay them with your personal checkbook, right? So that's the difference between working with a company and working with an individual. If that landscaping company was using SuiteDash, they would be able to invoice you as the company and also invoice you as the individual, even though you're the primary contact for that company. And you, as that person, when you logged into their portal, you would be able to switch. Okay, now I need to go pay my individual bill. So you'd switch to individual mode in the profile switcher. And now I need to go pay my company bill. I'll switch to my company. And if you have multiple companies, you can even do that, right? So if they say you have 6 office buildings and they want to bill each one individual, you can represent multiple companies, and in your switcher, the profile switcher, you can switch in between. Now, that's not always the case, and actually I would argue probably rarely the case. Yes, we make it possible, but for many of you it's not something that you would typically use. And this feature lets you turn off that individual profile in the profile switcher so that every time the person logs in, they're going to log in as the representative of that company. They won't see that individual profile and therefore become potentially confused. This is something that will just streamline their experience. They don't need to know that you have that power because, for them, they just want to get their job done with you and move on. And you want the same thing, of course. So that is possible now. You can enter the edit mode of the primary contact and make that change. And here it says coming soon, and the ability to auto-enable this setting in kickoff forms. This was published last week, and coming soon is already come and gone. And coming soon is the present. This kickoff form setting is already there, so you can even set it in a kickoff form. If you have the company set as the target, you may elect also to hide the individual mode, and then that means everyone that comes through that kickoff form will have the company set as the target, yes, and individual mode hidden, yes, for the primary contact. So this streamlines this configuration for you in the form itself. Okay, let's move on. Inactive companies, just like it sounds. I won't really go into this too much. You can set a company as inactive. They will disappear from your active companies list. Maybe you want to do business with them later, and this just gets them out of the way. Or maybe they are just not paying their bills, and you want to exclude them from the portal. You can do that just by setting them inactive. Form submissions is now available in the Contact Company dashboard. And just as it says here, coming soon, flow submissions and completed documents will also soon be available in that dashboard, that CRM dashboard we call it. And that is part of our stated goal to move in the direction of making that CRM dashboard a place where you can process as much of the business as needed with those particular prospects or clients without leaving that dashboard. And then let me see if I can really quickly just I'll just go to one of these dashboards just to make it clear. Let's do the one that I have. It's some data here. Okay, good. So from this dashboard, you can easily accomplish all of the things that you see here in the menu, including form submissions. Now you can easily switch between companies, and so the idea is that you can sit right here in this UI and just move really quickly from one customer to another. You can move easily to the primary contact by clicking here. It'll open that primary contact CRM dashboard directly in a new tab. See, the company is here, the primary contact is here. So this is intended to streamline your everyday business. Okay, let's go back. All right, the choice block. The choice block is a specialized advanced block in Forms that lets you create a multiple choice presentation to your targets, your end users. And for each one of the choices, you can uniquely and specifically set an entire spectrum of assignments and automations. Okay, so not just one little choice, but an entire spectrum of choices, all the choices that are available in a kickoff or an update form via automations can be uniquely set based on each choice. And that's super powerful, obviously, especially in a situation where you want to use like packages or some kind of tiered service levels. You can completely uniquely set circles, invoice generators. All of that can be uniquely assigned based on which of the choices they choose on their side. And this is now, was initially only available in kickoff forms. It's now available in update forms. Recently deleted files. This gives you a chance to recover files if you delete them. 5 days later, you think, I wish I didn't do that. You will find them in recently deleted, and they'll be automatically rotated out of there every 30 days. So if it's in there for 31 days, then it is truly and legitimately gone forever. Sorry. That's the way it is. But at least you have 30 days, right? Okay. Email and SMS appointment reminders for the appointment target. You can set these in a generic way, and they'll be applied automatically to each appointment that is set for that appointment type. So these can be uniquely set per appointment type. So if you have 4 different appointments, each one of them can have a unique schedule of reminders that will be applied, and the target will receive those reminders. Note here just that SMS is only available if you have the Twilio integration enabled. Okay. The CRM filter block. So this is designed to be a dashboard style block for admin side, what we call internals, where you can create a multi-layer. You can create a single layer, but more appropriately, a multi-layer dashboard that will show you which contacts are in which stage of your onboarding design, of your onboarding funnel. So if you are using just our standard prospects and clients, you can do that. If you're using a set of circles to define onboarding stages, so maybe you have a circle for stage 1, a circle for stage 2, whatever you call that, you can create a unique block, a CRM filter block, with each one of those configured, so that just by opening the dashboard, you'll say, okay, here I am, stage 1, I can see that these 4 prospects are there. Stage 2, here's these 2. Stage 3, I have 1. And there at the beginning of the morning or something like that, you can know these 3 people, let me contact them, let me just follow up, make sure they don't need anything, and try to get them moving along through your funnel. So it's a very easy way for you to define in a custom way, custom to your design, this visibility in each stage, and have an easy way to see that and access. And when you, those all have a direct link to this CRM dashboard for that particular company or individual that's in that block, okay? Reporting block is similar in that it just kind of adds up all the number of leads, number of prospects, and all kinds of things. You just need to check this out. There's a lot of reporting there, and this is we have plans to extend this. Assigned salesperson automation will just make it so you can change a salesperson of the target based on your automation. This was already possible with coordinator. Now it's possible with salesperson. Webhook improvements. This is in the webhook automation. You can now choose multiple endpoints, and you can choose. You have more data available to you from the company. Is the basics of this one. Dynamic items, a little bit too much to jump into now as far as the logic of it, but now company, private, and public custom fields are available to power those dynamic items as a custom field. And then dark mode, the dark mode changes. This is one of the sleeper changes that got a lot of good feedback. So as it says here, some people really love dark mode. And so now you can set a unique logo, a unique mobile logo, a unique background. You can be very unique and custom about what your platform looks like in dark mode. And yes, as it says, coming soon, we'll offer the option to force dark mode, in which case you can force your beliefs about dark mode on everyone that enters your portal, as in a dictatorial way. So you can do that and give them no choice. All right. So if you're one of those dark mode believers, you can do that. All right. I think that covers the Fresh on Live and all the most recent features. Some pretty exciting features coming even now. Some of them even have been released this week. I wouldn't say that silently, but as you know, as you can probably figure out, all of these features don't hit the live environment at the same minute, right? And some of them might be on production on live for a week, maybe 2 weeks before this announcement gets made. And that's typically the case. So that's a good way for us to soft open, is the terminology, I guess, that's most applicable there. New feature. And you'll see probably the most impactful features that we have that are on live now but not yet announced publicly is the ability to use update forms and flows for staff and not just contacts. So again, this is moving towards our stated goal of enabling the powerful tools that exist in SuiteDash to be used for your staff as well. So imagine that you have a new hire and you would now be able to add them, set some automations, set some assignments for a form, for example. Let them come into and fill out this update form that you designed for them as a staff member, and they would be able to fill in that data. Document signing for staff is on the way, not quite yet live. So you could have a flow, a document signing, an update form, any of those things, and they come along with automations, which are, again, quite powerful, but definitely unique for the staff members. So the automations that are available for staff are unique to staff and the capabilities of staff. Obviously, they can't have all the same automations as you might have for the externals. In this case, you'll see that add to team is there instead of add to circle, as teams are our same kind of construction, but for staff members. So these are the currently available automations for staff. Chat with clients is on the way. Scheduled automations is on the way. Scheduled automations is one that I'm really, really excited about, and it gives you the ability to either use the date that a person is added to the schedule or set a based on date. And just like as a drip, like imagine a drip campaign in the sense that you would be able to set a number of days before or after that based on date, and on those days, you're literally going to trigger an automation. So if you have a specific service, for example, or even a product that you onboard a new customer, you would be able to put them immediately on a schedule that after, say, 6 weeks, an automation will fire automatically for them uniquely. If you add someone else 3 days later, they're also going to be on a 6-week schedule relative to when they were added. So every one of your targets, your prospects or clients, has their own unique time schedule based on the configured schedule by you. So it works in the same way as, and I'll go here, don't confuse them, but I'll go to audiences. It works in the same way as audiences does, except we call these schedules. So you can add them to a schedule, and then later you can remove them from that schedule, add them to a different schedule using an automation. So you can move people through a set of scheduled automations based on their choices, based on, oh, now they paid the invoice. Let's move them off of that scheduled automation and move them onto another scheduled automation. Now, if you digested all that and it makes sense to you, you are top percentile of most of our customers, because that's a pretty early explanation of that. But get this is pretty cool. As powerful as that construction is, there's one use case that we have in mind to use it for that will save a lot of development time in the future and actually make some more powerful options for you as we go along. So all the things that you maybe assign to a prospect or client, you probably would be happy to have a reminder sequence set along with that, right? So if you assign a flow, or you assign a form, or you request a file upload, whatever you do using our platform, in some places we have some simple reminders set in, but what we'll be moving towards now is adding them, giving you the ability to add them to a schedule in all these places, what we call a schedule, which is scheduled automations. And by doing this, they will allow you to create the reminder sequence on your own here in scheduled reminders. So you could have a 4 reminder sequence, a 4-part, a 6-part, a 10-part, whatever you want, and it can say anything you want, fully configurable by you, or you could just create one and use it everywhere. It doesn't matter. But in all those places, you will have the power of using a very powerful reminder sequence without us. One benefit of it is we don't have to go to all those places and build in some very powerful reminder sequence in that place and the other place and the other place and the other place. We only use one generic solution, which is, okay, apply this schedule, which in this case is some reminder sequence, working off of the based on date, which is assigned in that place uniquely. So if you assign a flow tomorrow to a client, or no, so you assign a flow tomorrow to a client, you can set up a reminder sequence, have a due date like 30 days out, and every 3-4 days send them another email, an SMS, anything in the all the automations are there available to you. I'm only referring to using email and SMS, but you can additionally do other things. You could move their circles around to affect maybe showing them a notice. You could use email cannons. There could be unlimited imagination is available there. So super powerful, and that's just one real world application that I think people will really be able to take a lot of advantage of. All right, so why don't I step back from the microphone for a second and allow you to start dropping questions, guys. So I assume you're here for the Q&A webinar, and I'm assuming people have questions. I'm happy to start to check them out. Let's turn the chat on and see. All right, Chris, Leif, any questions, guys? Go ahead and drop them, because now is the time. Has anybody started in the new academy yet? Just curious. Anybody who here has a free trial is a good question. Is on a free trial looking to understand if SuiteDash is the right fit for you for subscription. And then if so, what kind of business and what kind of questions might you have? Everybody all at once. All right, good. You wrote a question, sign up for the webinar. Okay, let me see if I can grab that, Leif. I can do that. It might take me a second. I'm still working out my process here for getting back up to speed. We have to use OBS. I don't know if you know that. It's just some screencasting software. So you kind of have to be an expert in all things to do this, especially all live and making the changes. It's a little bit of a skill set, that's for sure. One sec. I'm not having much luck. My last pass is arguing with me. Leif, would you mind? Yep. Okay. Leif, during that time, would you mind just seeing if it probably is in the email that you got initially. You could probably get it there and paste it back in here. Okay, Samantha, let's go. Samantha says, planning to start a free trial after this. Would you be able to show a little bit more about the options and features surrounding the CRM portion? I will try, Samantha. As far as the options and features of CRM. For us, CRM it represents the beginning of a relationship that you can continue throughout your entire business journey, throughout the entire journey there. So I hesitate to say, oh, this is, just think about us as a CRM. Yes, it's a list. We start as a list of that, but and maybe you have more specific questions, but what I would say is there's 3 ways to add contacts to your CRM. You can, I have your question now, by the way, Leif. So if you don't have, Caitlin got it for me. We'll address it next. You can add them manually, Samantha, or you can add them via kickoff form, which is, I would best characterize it as a smart form that you may embed on your website or use as a standalone landing page, and the kickoff form can be configured to start them down any number of paths of automation, or you can do an import. Now, what's the important part to understand, because we are all about automations, think about circles. So let's go into add contacts and think about the sense that you have. We'll just start with clients to make it easy. Multiple types of clients, I would say. I'm assuming that you have multiple income avenues, multiple types of services, etc. So that would be one thing you want to think of in the beginning, or near the beginning, and you would want to set what we call, or create what we call, circles to help you categorize your clients. Circles are a functional grouping mechanism, as you see they are here, and they can help you do everything from create and display and present a unique menu, set up a menu on the side here, a unique dashboard, unique content, unique file sharing. So by typing your clients, let's say you have type A, B, and C, you're able very easily to direct the clients along the paths that you define and design for those 3 types of clients. So what you'll find yourself doing is designing funnels, workflows, pathways for each type of client, and using that circle as the controlling mechanism. And then when you're adding a new client manually, sometimes you will set their circle here. And by setting their circle, you know exactly what is going to happen when they start down the path that you created for them, because you designed it around the circle and around that presentation. So this is how you can create a unique portal experience for each one of your clients and your team, each one of your team, if you're onboarding team members. That's what we talked about earlier. So all the things you see here, email marketing audience, event generator, folder generator, these are all mechanisms designed for automation. And the idea is that you create, design, and configure all of these things one time at the beginning, and then of course you're going to tweak and layer and make them better and change them around to fit what you're seeing on the ground in the real world. But the idea is that you create these funnels, these pathways that then you can just start to drop people in the top, and you know what's going to happen. Let me go to a diagram, because I have one that I think makes this a lot more understandable. This is something that we're working on for a video here. So let's first define target, and I'll reference a video that we just released in a second. A target is this person, this person that's out there, Samantha. They're out there. You don't know what their name is. You don't know what their email address is. They might land on your website, but if they leave and they haven't done anything, filled out a form or anything, you have no idea who they are, because they're anonymous, right? So that's a target. That's what we call a target. Our goal is to get a target to complete a kickoff form, which is the type of form that is designed to bring people into your CRM. And in that kickoff form, you can set circles, set their circles, which will then define which dashboard they see, what menu they see, what files they have access to. And additionally, in that kickoff form, you can set up or trigger the first phase, the first stage of your onboarding, which might be an appointment scheduling, or it might be a proposal that they need to look at. And you can set their coordinator and password. I'm sorry, salesperson. So you can do that with contacts, with companies. You can define, as we talked about in the beginning, how you work with maybe companies or contacts. That'll be something or individuals. That's something you want to talk about. This is the kickoff form idea. And what's beautiful about SuiteDash is that you can, as I said, you can define every stage using some automation or semi-automation. And the best way to talk about that is we have automations, opportunities that are available on whatever action, like an approval of a proposal, the signing of a proposal, or approval of an estimate, or paying of an invoice, which can then trigger all of these things to change. Meaning you could change their dashboard now, you could change their menu, change their files by changing their circle. You can then move them on to the next stage using an automation. So the end result is this, and this is the best way to explain it. And before I say that, let me also say that all those automations, you can create groups of automations and package them up into what we call auto templates that are designed for specific scenarios. So we understand that not every business can be fully automated. That's for sure, right? I mean, humans have to be involved. Humans or an AI, maybe, have to be involved in parts of the business that require that kind of instinct, intelligence, etc. So our goal here with using SuiteDash is to provide you all the tools that you need to reach this end goal, which is what I call practical automation. All right, so what does that mean? The target hits your website. We don't know who they are. We get them to fill out a kickoff form. Maybe it's, we usually recommend that it's very lightweight. First name, last name, email address, maybe a few other things. Then we start them on an automation slide, I call it, right? So the ball's in their court. There's things that they can do. They're going to click, they're going to fill out this form, then they get automatically sent a proposal that's generated from a proposal generator. Then they can sign that. If this is, of course, this is all configurable, but I'm just using an example. Then we get them on an automation slide that as far as we can go, that your business then needs a human interaction. We call these checkpoints, human interaction checkpoints. Okay, so it means it lands in somebody's email inbox or several people's, and somebody has to take action, meaning somebody has to perform some action and then make some decision, typically. So at these checkpoints, we encourage you to then create auto templates that cover all the possible scenarios out of that checkpoint. So let's just say you have checkpoint, or you have scenario A, B, and C. You'll create an auto template that covers scenario A, covers scenario B, covers scenario C, and that auto template is designed by you to put them back on an automation slide, meaning, okay, this is going to take care of all of our admin side, and then put them back onto the ball is in their court, back on the slide. So here, automation slide, we hit a checkpoint. Then you have three auto templates designed for each scenario. The human who does this evaluation will then just say, okay, this fits B. They make about 3 clicks, apply, click, checkpoint, click, B. I'm sorry, auto template B. Go. That's it. Then they're done, because everything is built into that auto template as far as what happens next. This person gets emailed. That person gets emailed. The circle changes to this thing, which will then change their dashboard and then menu, and then move them into this next stage. And all those things happen instantly with 3 clicks. Okay, that means I'm done with that target. They've moved to the next phase. Now they're on an automation slide. The ball's in their court. Then you hit another human interaction checkpoint, where you have more auto templates designed for all the outcome scenarios there. And you have a human, you or your staff or someone that you hire, to make the evaluation based on your processes, your systems, and they then do their 3 clicks again, back on the automation slide. I mean, this is completely possible. And I've literally had emails from customers who say, my biggest problem is trying to figure out what to do with the rest of my day. And I'm telling you the truth. They literally did the work, and then they say, I don't know what to do, because I come to work, I look at my email, and I go into my portal and I trigger the auto templates that were designed for this. And actually anything that I do beyond that point is going to damage my system. I'm going to cause problems because it's designed to run on its own. And so they have to force themselves to just stand up and walk away and let the automations do its job. And then maybe in the afternoon they come back if there's more checkpoint decisions, evaluations to be made. Okay, great. Do that. And of course it's not quite that easy. But what you will not find SuiteDash customers doing, if they've done the work and used our tools properly, you will not find them manually creating proposals. You will not find them manually creating invoices. You will not find them doing these things. These things that take manual time to go and do this and do that, 15 minutes here, 25 minutes there. You get tripped up at doing this. And you know what is another thing to understand here? They make far fewer mistakes. Automations, when you set them up, they just do the same thing over and over, black and white. Okay, they don't make mistakes. And we've all found ourselves in the middle of a proposal using search and replace or scanning with our eyes, trying to make sure that we we don't leave information from a previous client in there, which will make us look unprofessional. And despite our best efforts, every third or fourth proposal, we realize, yeah, I messed that up. I sent that out, and it had the last person's information, and now I look like I'm not professional. Automations don't make those mistakes. They're clean, crisp, accurate. And your work is actually then redirected towards refining these automations and creating and understanding how they work and testing them. And the great part about it, Samantha, is after you get this working, you can define these decisions and pass them to someone and have a lot more time for yourself. Okay. Sorry, that's that's a subject that I get somewhat passionate about, so I apologize if I went too far there. All right. Okay, let's go back. Leif, yes, I have your question, but you have it here in front of me, so that's perfect. Today we have lacked the ability to choose a contact person at a company to receive a notification about a project flow, file upload, etc. Well, that's not true. Like, I know where you're going, but the truth, what is true there is, yes, you do have that ability. It's just a single person. The primary contact will always receive all the notifications about the company. But I do know where you're going, so I'm going to continue, and I'm pretty sure I'm right. Being able to choose one or more to receive a notification about something inside of SD would be a really good feature. I will explain to you exactly where we're going there, and you're right. It is often the case that understand. So, yes, Leif. So now that the primary contact is the functional contact for a company in a singular manner at the moment. The next functional contact will become what we call a billing contact. And we will continue to roll out functionality specific company roles, we call them, inside a company. So let me explain why you can't do that now, and why it must be this way, because I think this would help everyone understand. If I added a company, if I added a contact, an individual, and I associated them with multiple companies in the way that you are thinking about. What I don't know at that moment, Leif, when they log in, is what company is this person, are you asking me to give this person control of, right? The only way that we know that is if they have access to a profile switcher. This profile switcher. that we talked about before. So if they have multiple companies, they'll be listed here. When they log in, we need them to switch to the company so that they can act as a representative of that company. And what you're asking for is that they act as a functional representative of that company. So in the future, what will happen is, right now it's the primary is there's that one functional representative that can do that, and they can do everything. What we'll do in the future is roll out these company roles where you'll be able to assign a billing contact, which could potentially a different person who will then have the ability to use that profile switcher, switch into one company, even multiple companies. They could be the billing contact for multiple companies. But when they switch, that's when they know, okay, they're representing this company A or company B, and now we can show them the proper data for that company, and they can act on behalf of that company in that as a representative of that company after they use the switcher. So until that functionality is there, and you can see, and I think you understand that the groundwork is here now. A lot of the framework is here, and next is this sort of stepping through these functional roles that make the most sense. Billing contact being the most obvious and the most requested. Yep. But I see you say projects, flows, things like that. Yep. So let me see what you're saying. Okay. It's rare that we have the same contact persons in different companies, but several different contact persons in the same company. Yep. I get it. And that's okay. So if you don't, what I think I might be hearing, and I know this is going to be the case with some people, is that you don't necessarily need a specific billing contact, functional contact. But one thing we'll also enable would be a secondary primary contact position. Okay, so there will be a primary contact. That's the real part. That's the lead. And then you would be able to create secondary primary contacts that could also represent the company and be functional on behalf, and also receive notifications on behalf. No, not in the sense that you're saying create our own roles for a contact. There's too many permission layers, Leif, to do that. It's not undoable. It's practically it's untenable from a practical standpoint. Yeah. Yes. What we can do much easier and much more cleanly and in a less chaotic way, I think, from your side, is to understand from the community the need. Right? What is the need? What are you asking? Why are you asking that question? I guess it's the first question, and then what do you really need? And then we'll address the other question, which is what do you really need, using a combination of settings or enablings, of capabilities, those kind of things. At least that would be the short-term approach. I can't say that it will never happen, but and I think you would probably agree that there are more things that you would like to see before that happens. Okay, Chris, good. Thanks for the question. Chris and Leif, thank you. I hope that answers. And also Samantha, thank you for the questions. All right, Chris says 2 questions. White label client portal and dashboard examples. Well, I'm showing you one now. But let's continue. What do you think really separates SuiteDash from other CRM solutions? Thank you. Well, Chris, I think that's a pretty easy one. SuiteDash is designed for small, medium businesses, SMBs. We do not try to be a Salesforce. Thank God. We have people running to us like they're running away from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from Salesforce and Zoho, to be honest. And I don't want to badmouth anyone, but I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. Okay, so SuiteDash, the way I like to talk about it in the recent months is it's an operating system for your business. Okay, so think about it like this: you have a website. I don't know where these articles come from. Here's your website. This is your surface website, right? There's nothing here. It's not. We don't know who it is. Everyone that lands here is a target, right? It means they're unidentified. Below this, though, is a layer, is the operating system of your business, which is this portal, okay? And this portal can be just like Facebook or any SaaS, but Facebook's the best example that most people understand. Everyone logs in at the same place, but when they log in, and very early on, even from the kickoff form, we now have identified them and categorized them and classified them based on your configuration. And that means we can take them uniquely, each one based on how you predefine their path, down a path of automation, a path of experience that you are completely in charge of in a custom way. And a completely white label way, which is very key, right? When done correctly, there is literally no way that they will know you, your staff, your clients. There's no mention of SuiteDash, not even in the source code. Not even in the source code. If you want to view the page source, you're not going to find SuiteDash there. Not even when, if you're an agency and you're using this for your clients, even when you tell them, I need you to make a change in your DNS, we provide white label DNS targets for you to give them that don't give away the fact that you're using a software that maybe they could probably buy and configure themselves. But, in general, what they don't know doesn't hurt them, and you're going to do a great service for them. But it's just better sometimes not to introduce questions, right? Just let's get the work done. Let's go. I'm going to make you really, really happy. And the more questions, the more times your clients run into another brand name along the way. When you go into a project, now they have to understand, oh, do I trust this? What's that? I've never heard of that. Should I really enter my information here? The more times they hit another brand name in your process, it's another place where they go, I don't know. But if every place along the way they see your brand, nothing but your brand, your URL, everything's reinforced, your brand becomes reinforced. That is a huge, huge thing, right? And what we're basically providing for you, and SuiteDash is different than those things. Well, I'd say Salesforce is a decent analogy because of the complexity. I don't know if you know this or not, but when you sign up for a real Salesforce account, the ones that are really powerful, I don't know if it's 100% required, but they really, really, really try and almost require you to contract with a Salesforce professional because they know that you're going to have a difficult time figuring it out. It's very complex because it's very powerful. SuiteDash is also very powerful in that way that it gives you the ability to custom design an operating system for your business. We are a generic solution. We're not niched down to one particular niche, accounting or legal or coaching. We have created what I sometimes will say is a very elegant set of Legos that you can take and move around in the way that you need it to work and have it work in a white label area. So we're providing an ability for you to build your own bespoke software that does exactly what you need it to do in a white label way, automated in a way that systematizes and automates your business based on how you work, right? And I do think that is very unique in the industry. Are there other places that have that kind of functionality? Yes, there are. You could take Airtable and do amazing things with it. You could do amazing things with Salesforce. You may harm yourself at some point along the way out of frustration. What we try our very best to do is give you super powerful tools that are designed for SMB, small, medium businesses, and the entrepreneurs that run them, right? You do not have time to learn a new, to add things to your resume. I'm a Salesforce professional. I'm a certified Airtable professional, whatever it is. And that's why you'll see the academy is laid out for you in this very digestible way. That's why we have these webinars. That's why we have live support sessions available all throughout the week. The documentation is very strong. The community is very strong. We're building, and I think probably the number one distinction is our community. Yeah, and if you know anyone who uses SuiteDash and been around our community for a long time, what you will know right away is that very often things are suggested or brought to the surface by the community, and in not so long of a time frame, those things are built. Not all the time, but when things are achievable and able to be developed in a time frame that matters, we do that a lot. Sometimes even less than a week. Sometimes just a few days. It just depends on what it is. But we're always looking at this voting board. We're always moving in the direction of the community, and our goal is to stay focused on the small, medium-sized businesses, not just enterprise. You won't see SuiteDash become an enterprise-chasing business. We want to be a company that serves our community, which is small, medium businesses all around the world. Leif, I think, has used the translation feature. Sweden, right, Leif? Yep. So the translation feature will allow you to completely translate the entire front side of the platform, the client prospect side of the platform, and most of the admin side. So this can be built to accommodate almost any business all around the world. And Leif, we do have live support sessions in the Australia time zone, so 24 hours, pretty close. And we have some on the West Coast. We have Australia, and we do our best to now have some early ones, even earlier than this one. So I think, not every 2 hours all around the world, 24 hours, but very, very close. Oh, something else. Oh, I know what you mean. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. So we do have that setting, but yes, there are still places where we need to apply your preference in the calendar, which is not difficult, just a matter of help. If you can help us, I think, Leif, anywhere you see it, it really helps to just point it out. Send a quick email to help@suitedash.com. That's great. Okay. All good. Okay, so any other questions? Chris, did that help? Chris? In the white label client portal and dashboards examples, I can't give of course we can't talk about real customer examples, but we have some set up that are like, here's this, I've showed you this one. Here's another. This is one that's set up for web developers. It's built around that. It uses those style of never save. And here's one that is, I think this is right. No, I think it's Portal. This one's set up around CPA. So depending on your business, and there's if you are in the academy and you go to this first lesson, meet me, you can click here, and there's some examples shown in here as well. Leif, good question. Happy to answer. Positive news there. in the industry itself. So PWA notifications are limited by the ability basically from Apple. On Android we could do it, but we want to do them all at the same time. So let's just look. My last, which was just a couple months ago, web notifications are in. Here's February. Yeah. So when they release 16.4, it's in beta. So yes, we're probably in the place now. It's time to take a really good look at the latest iOS version and see if it will happen. There's going to be some limitations here, Leif, and I want to be really honest about this, is that I'm 99% sure that these will only work if you're using Safari in mobile. So you have to you or your customers will just need to open the PWA. No, that's not true, actually. Yep. I'll need to review it. Yeah, so it's a new area, and this was always the decision to go with PWA as our mobile solution gave us an incredible number of pros and some small basket of cons, and the biggest one being, as you know, that we're not able to push notifications to a mobile app like a native mobile app. But the mega pro is that you can have a white label mobile application, your icon on your client's phone, and it's right there. That would never be possible with a native app. They would have to install SuiteDash native app and then log in. So the white label would just be dead and it'd be useless at that point, based on our business model. So yes, when it comes, I mean, look, the world is moving to PWA. There's no doubt about that at all, and it has been for a long time. Apple, for all the great things that they do, one of the things that they often do, as you know, is that they sometimes come late to the party. Meaning, even the iPod. There was plenty of digital music players out there, and also the iPhone. They kind of come late to the party, and they bring some pretty amazing stuff. So they wait, they look, they see, and then they come and they change the world sometimes. So this was expected, that it would be a little while before iOS brings the PWA notifications, but eventually PWA will be able to control everything on the phone, even the camera. You can even grab the camera now with our PWA. So if you have some kind of business where you are inspecting properties or doing whatever, and you need to take pictures and load them directly into the portal, it's very simple. You just grab the camera and take the picture. It uploads it just like a native app. So the PWA is very, very getting closer all the time to a native app, and then you get this as white label to your brand for no extra charge, no additional charge, and it has all these advantages. In that, and another major advantage is when we release code, when we release new features to production, they are instantly a part of your mobile app. Why? Because it uses the same code base. Whereas if a company has, say, a native app, which sounds good in theory, but guess what? When they release a new feature, they're going to build it for the SaaS app first, and then after that, they're going to go build it for the iOS app, and then after that, they're going to build it for the Android app. They have to have unique teams for each one of those things. They have to filter those functionalities down into those places, and sometimes the deep functionality never makes it to the mobile app because it's too expensive or too difficult or whatever. With our PWA solution, everything is there, everything's available, everything is real time, the same as if you look at it in the browser or on an iPad or on an iPhone or Android or whatever it is. It's always the same. So that's a win all the way around. But yes, they're coming, Leif, and thanks for the reminder. I'm going to put that on my list. I'm going to do it right now to jump in to the research there and really figure out what the timeline is looking like and making sure that gets into our pipeline. There it is. There's the support tickets question. Hang on one second. Let me finish this note. PWA. Yes, thank you. I'll say it the best way I can without putting timelines on it, Leif, but that's okay. I don't care. I'm happy because it's very, very soon.
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, sorry. Think in terms of weeks, not months. That's the best way I could say it right now. Yep. Sometimes these things will go a week or two longer than I would guess as far as a deadline, because something will come up that's just a small piece of logic that we need to take care of, and it's just better to hold it and make sure that it's taken care of. But it's very close. It's going to be nice. It's going to include from the beginning the ability to create multiple or support ticket forms that you can that function in much the way as kickoff forms. It's going to come in the beginning with an email address that you can use. Like most support ticket systems, they'll give you an email address that's like a coded hashed email address, and then you forward all emails that are sent to help@suitedash.com or something like that to this bespoke email address that they give you from the system. And your platform is already set up to send out emails directly in a white label way, either through SMTP or your Google, Gmail, Workspace, or Microsoft, or whatever it is. So incoming emails will go directly into a support ticket system. Anything that goes out will go out through that email pipe that you already have configured, and you'll have a perfect round trip, perfect white label support ticket system. You'll be able to specify who can work there, all sorts of ways to. There are foundational components there that will allow for the automation of automated reaction to support tickets based on the way they come in and the content, etc. So foundational elements are there for really advanced support ticket functionality that will fit in with the rest of the portal. And Chris, just again to sort of hit on this concept again, SuiteDash is much more than a CRM. Think about it in terms of projects, in billing, marketing, learning management, support, private messaging, automation. So it's a kind of a combination of 10, 15 different toolkits that you may go out and really have some primary or secondary need for in your business, but they all are in one place. They all are designed to speak to each other, to pass data to each other, to automate each other. One action in toolkit, one in projects can trigger a reaction in some other toolkit, and therefore it also replaces something like Zapier. So if you are all in the SuiteDash ecosystem, then you really don't need something like Zapier, because you can trigger every piece, every action based on the completion event of another step. And even more powerful than something like Zapier is that auto template functionality that I discussed earlier, that allows you to create multi-action automation sets to accommodate multiple scenarios. And then it's just as easy as it's as easy as just triggering an automation, an auto template. So let's just say someone calls you and says, you know what, we've decided to go with package A, or package alpha. Okay, great. You just go here. Sorry, let me get rid of this. Go here and choose auto template right here. Let's package alpha, whatever it is, whichever one you know that you designed, and then just trigger it, and then all the things happen. 1, 2, 3 clicks, right? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4 clicks, And this work that you do in the front end will pay you back 10x, 100x on the back end in automation. Kickoff forms, update forms, they all have automations assigned. But imagine now that you can say, okay, let me create a phone call intake form so that when an administrative assistant, say for example, or anyone takes a phone call and they say, let's just say you're in the, roofing business, and they say, yeah, I'm interested in scheduling for a roof install. Okay, great. Here's our form, but guess what we also have is staff submit. So let's just say you created this form specifically for your staff. It has a static address that they can put as a bookmark, and now they have a custom designed guide on how to handle that phone call and every piece of data that they need to get from that caller. And not only that, and you could even put HTML steps in between here with scripts and everything if you really want to do all that. And now, not only do you have a perfect way to collect that information across the phone, and include scripting even if you want, so you make sure that you have all the data, you make sure that you have give the right information. But not only that, you can then use all the assignments and automations to kick off that relationship as soon as the form is submitted. So as soon as this gets submitted, all of these things are options that you can kick off and push in an automated way, right? Straight down. I mean, and so this person who answered the phone for you, when they click submit, if you design it correctly and do the work in the back end in your operating system, when they click submit, they're done. Everything's done, right? And the person receives an email and they can do the scheduling and however you want to do it. But this is incredibly powerful. You could create one of these for yourself to keep on your mobile device so that if you meet someone at a conference or at a restaurant, doesn't matter. You could have just some small amount of information, but behind the scenes, you know that you've developed an entire series of funnel, an entire workflow that's designed for that specific scenario. And you say, hey, let me get your name. And you go to your phone, you go right to that form in your browser, you have it bookmarked, you put in their information, and you hit submit. And literally before you break eye contact with this person, an email is coming into their email address. They've been added into your CRM. They've been categorized properly. They are on track to, you have event follow-ups, what we call event templates. So you can create an event template event generator that tells you it reminds you in 7 days, 14 days, 21 days. You define this yourself. Follow-up is automatically on your calendar. All these things happen in this elegant, way that you predefine. And this is the operating system of your business, right? And are you going to do all this on day one? No. You're going to start with kickoff form on your website on day one. And you're going to take the steps and you're going to see how that works. And you're going to layer it on day 7 and day 21 and day 121. You're just going to get better and better and better. And the efficiency of your business, the automation of your business will continue to increase, and you will get better, and your business will get better, and you'll do more business, be more profitable. It takes time. There's nothing that's this powerful that can get turned on like a light bulb overnight, right? This is something that you need to live with. You need to, and you will. Every single person on the earth that runs a business will eventually be backed into using something like this, some system that is designed to help them compete against all the other businesses who are using those types of systems. And if you're trying to paper ledger your business in 2025, 2026, you're very likely will have your lunch eaten by other businesses who, when prospects contact them, so 6 things happen in the first 10 minutes that convince that contact, wow, these people really have it under control. These people are on the ball. As opposed to you, it's still the contact is still sitting in your email inbox. You haven't even seen it yet. and the other business is way done. They're done. They won. In 6 minutes. They beat you automatically, right? So if you don't get on this train and go to the front of that line and be in the front and on the front of that wave, you're gonna get washed out. I mean, I'm not trying to sell anything now. I'm only trying to say, please think about this. Understand if it's our product, SuiteDash, if it's another product, you should be thinking this way. Okay, I can tell you that our product, we are thinking every day about how to build this product to perfectly serve that need. All right, so if you're going to use something, maybe you should think about using something that's perfectly designed and missioned to try to serve to help you accomplish that. Okay, yeah, I would say that we might be a candidate, a very strong candidate. But if it's not us, I'm happy if you find yourself somewhere else and feel comfortable there. But yep, I would just say, don't expect you to sign up for a free trial and 3 days later everything just fell into place and suddenly your business is running itself. That's not going to happen. I'll be really honest with you. But I'm here, and I think you can hear in my voice that I'm going to be here, and I really like being here to help you guys. So do all of our wizards and senseis. We're really here to help you, and we think that we can all do this together as a community and really help a lot of people. So, all right. Soapbox put away. Although I love this stuff. If you have our free trial drip, I'll close with this. Thank you, Leif. Thank you, man. And you do too. I've been there, man. I've been there in the trenches, and I did it before all of this was possible. Before these things, and now I really like what we're doing here, because this is like the platform of my dreams. I think I say that in some email that we send. It's true. Now we're just kind of fantasizing, like, wouldn't it be amazing if. Oh, wait, if we do it this way, then this is possible and that is possible. And then, you have these huge light bulbs that are 1,000,000 watts bright on top of your head, and you think, oh my God, that's incredible. Yes, let's build that. Let's make those connections. Let's do those things. And that's what we're trying to do here. That's what we're trying to do all the time. So it's an aggressive, it's a borderline, it's a difficult endeavor. Every niche that we're building in, all the toolkits, is full of one-trick ponies, I call them, is full of other companies who are building a single product in that niche, and they're awesome. And I'm not going to say they're not. They are. We're building 15. It's going to take us a little longer. We're going to step through it in a very methodical way. But when those 15 toolkits and probably more are platformed, fully automated, fully integrated, fully to the top of their game, and world class in that niche, I can't even see what the competition would be. Who would compete? Who would compete at the level of a small, medium business? And what small, medium business would choose to purchase, learn, onboard, sell, convince their staff to use 6 different pieces of software instead of learning one learning curve, one place to go, one place to log in, one place to send their clients, all white label, ready to go for you? Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I think that's an easy decision for a consumer, and that's where we're trying to be. Okay. That's it. I think I have completed. You're welcome, Samantha. You're welcome, Leif. You're welcome, Chris. And everyone else is here. Thank you very much. If you guys have more questions, please send them to help@suitedash.com. You can try to give Kevin AI a try and see if he gives you some accurate answers Sorry if he doesn't, but we're watching the answers all the time to try to fine-tune them as much as possible. I do believe this is the future. This is obviously the future. So it's just a matter of training. It's just a matter of helping this be available to you all the time, 24/7, as a way to just shortcut, I think, and this does a decent job of providing links for you, and most of it's from the documentation, so maybe it would keep you from digging in the documentation, kind of shortcut you there. All right, maybe we'll see you guys next Thursday. The webinar is all the time. You can come as many times as you like. Hope to see you every week. All right, thanks everyone. Have a great rest of your day.